morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 11 of the 2019 Coal Bowl Classic. This game will feature the St. Pat's Irish and the Halifax Grammar. What is Halifax Grammar's name?
Halifax Grammar.
Halifax Grammar. I will come up with it sometime throughout this broadcast. My name is Alex McLeod. I'm here with Matt Skid. Matt, great to have you with us.
Great to be here, Alex.
And so we're going to have a foul here early on in the game. It's going to go against number 12, Ryan Monroe. Oh, not Ryan Monroe. 13, sorry, that's where it is. 13, Matthew Kendall. His first personal foul. As we get a free from Monroe to open the scoring.
I was really looking forward to this game actually today, Alex. I think it was one of the ones that I had circled on the schedule for the week, so it's going to be an interesting game. Especially to see how St. Pat's responds after their loss yesterday to Riverview.
As you mentioned, St. Pat's coming into this game at 1-1. Grammar coming in at 1-0 after a day off yesterday.
It's a great schedule. Two toughest opponents, most likely when you come in, when you're looking at the schedule, get a day off in between to prepare.
Yep. And we had Grammar beating Riverview on Monday, while St. Pat suffered a 12-point loss to the Royals in yesterday's game. A great game yesterday afternoon. St. Val gets it over to Kazadi. Kazadi gets his own rebound. And great hustle there from Husbands. He gets it up to Monroe. Monroe attacking to the left. Tries to dump it off for the big man. And he can't get that one to fall. That's Ethan Marshall Harris, who was absent from the game against Riverview on Monday.
St. Pat's plays so hard, they play so fast. How they came out basically at the start of each quarter yesterday against Riverview. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy to start each quarter. It seemed like it kind of fizzled out towards the end of each quarter. So I think Grammar, should be able to get up to speed a little bit quicker than Riverview. They're used to playing, in the Metro League in Halifax. A lot of very athletic teams up there as well. So they should be used to the speed that St. Pat's plays with. And if they can hit some threes today, I think they're going to be successful.
Grammar, one of the top teams in the Metro League this year. As Bridie driving, we're going to get another foul on Kendall. That's his second personal. 2 quick fouls, less than 2 minutes into this game. So we're going to have a substitution in for the Irish as James Marina is going to check in.
He had a great second half, I thought, yesterday in the game that I watched against Riverview. He came in the third quarter with some foul trouble as well. Hit a three, got a couple offensive boards, made an impact while he was in there.
We have Husbands in the corner, and that pass tipped and intercepted. Here comes St. Val in transition. He gets right to the rack and scores with the left hand.
They're just so consistent with how they push the ball up the left side. They headman the ball, they penetrate, they look to reverse pivot and move the ball. And they do a great job of getting the ball ahead and playing fast.
Larkin now. Here's Monroe. Can't get the roll on that three. Offensive rebound by Ethan Marshall Harris. He's going to head to the charity stripe for a pair.
What a luxury for Grammar to have 3 players who won a gold medal at the Under-17 National Championships last summer. Ryan Monroe and Ethan Marshall Harris both started for them. Lydell Husbands came off the bench, but just unbelievable talent at Grammar this year. And also just a testament to, Basketball Nova Scotia and what they're doing as well, what they've been doing. Very fortunate, one of my assistant coaches, Chris Rayo, was on the coaching staff and was able to get that gold medal last year out in Kamloops, BC. And, they're showing it in their play this year. I would say Grammar's probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the province this year. And they have a great shot to win the provincial championships.
For those of you who don't know, I don't think we mentioned it, Matt, you are the head coach of the CBU men's capers team.
Yes, sir.
Back in your second stint in Cape Breton.
Yeah, lucky to be back. Really happy to be here. I was out in Calgary the last couple of years, and you miss things like this. Like, this is such an institution in Cape Breton, being able to come and be a part of the Coal Bowl. You know, just we're at an 11 a.m. game and the gym's full. It's an amazing thing what they do out here. Wedgie. We got a wedgie.
Looks like we're going to have a foul call before the shot. Oh, they're going to call it in the act as Malu is going to head to the line.
I thought Brady was the difference maker for Grammar on Monday in their win. He hit some big shots, played tough defense. I think he's a great player. He's got good size for his position, really hard worker, and you know, he's going to be a key player for them for the rest of the week.
As here's Bridie now, working on Malu. He's going to use the screen from Lydell Husbands. He gets to the rack, can't finish, and rebounded and outletted all the way up for. Hard to see their numbers on their jerseys.
Yeah, it is. That was 5.
That was St. Val.
St. Val, yeah. Great block by Husbands there.
And a nice dish down to Monroe, who gets the finger roll to drop.
Monroe's been really aggressive. I don't think he was particularly happy. I would just say from him just being such a high-level player, especially with his first half performance in their first game this week. So he's going to look to make an impact on this game. You can tell right away. He's already got 5 points.
And we mentioned in yesterday's game, Monroe, big Waterford connection. His grandfather lives just a street over from Breton Education Centre. He spent many days shooting in his driveway. I'm sure dreaming about playing in the Coal Bowl. Great to have him down for this week's tournament.
Yeah, he's one of the best grade 12 players in Nova Scotia this year. He's committed to Acadia and Coach Kevin Duffy. He'll be a great fit for them right away. They graduate 4 seniors this year, including Nick DePalma, who's one of the better shooters in our conference in the AUS, and I think Ryan's going to kind of fit into that role with them perfectly next year.
As we're going to have some substitutions into the game for Grammar. We have number 15, Joshua Ruta-Rindwa, and number 23, Andrew Bowie. Oh, no, sorry, these are the wrong teams. 15 is Ian Keefe, and 23 is Jonah Crowther. It's early in the morning, you'll have to forgive me.
No, you're all right. You're good. You're right, though. St. Pat's uniforms, it's tough to see their numbers.
St. Val kicks it to Marina. Marina gets to go from long range.
Making an impact again, coming off the bench, hit a 3. Like I said yesterday, you did the same thing for St. Pat's. Luxury to have that kind of depth coming off your bench.
Righty, and that's stolen again. St. Pat's doing a good job here running in transition. It's Kazadi, gets to the rim, can't finish. Gets his own rebound though. And looks like he's gonna pick up a foul there.
Looks like Bridie, something happened to him on that play. He's kind of clutching, tying up his shoe, hobbling a little bit coming off. We'll see if that's going to affect him moving forward.
And it's going to be David Waller checking into the game for Bridie. He carries almost over the timeline. There we go for Grammar. And it's Monroe. He'll take a 3, and he hits.
Yeah, he's locked in. Second 3 already. He's locked in. He's ready to go today.
Big bounce back game for him today. Here's St. Val. Gets to Marina. Swings it to King.
That's the thing about great players, though. It's not even he played poorly on Monday. He's just, you can tell that he's ready to assert himself today.
And here's Malu. Can't get the roll on that one. Rebounded by Monroe. Monroe, the screen from Keefe. Over to Husbands. Drives. He's going to get a whistle. He's going to head to the line for 2. Officials for today's games, Greg Callahan and Paul Bailey. And Matt, you have to put up with Paul, all year in the AUS.
Yeah, I definitely have to put up with Paul. I'm just going to keep it at that. He was already giving it to me before the game, making sure that I wasn't going to say anything bad about him. And then Greg is a father of our starting point guard at CBU, Jason Callahan, graduate from Sydney Academy. And obviously the connections run deep in this game as well with Tim McGarrigle and Mark McGarrigle as the coaching staff for Halifax Grammar. Tim, the one-time head coach at CBU, conference champion while he was there, and Mark was a 5-year player at CBU as well. He started right after I was playing.
I was going to say, he would have been done it was started just after you finished,
just
right?
after I finished playing. But he played for Jimmy Charters as well.
And a 3 from King. Can't find the rim on that one. It's going to be out of bounds Grammar possession.
You'd think that'd probably be part of the game plan for Grammar coming into today, just making sure they know who the shooters are and who they aren't, because as Monroe hits again from 3. What's that, 11 of the 14, I think?
Yep. He's hot to start this one. Gets it up to Husbands. That's a nice pass in transition. Husbands falls, and he's getting a call for travel.
What I was saying, I just think the game plan for Grammar is, going to be to limit transition from St. Pat's, make sure they get into the gaps when the penetration's happening, and then pick and choose who the shooters are, how they're contesting on the perimeter. They have a couple guys who can knock down the 3, but a couple shots have been a little bit wide here to start for them. So I just think you have to know who you're guarding and how that's going to go.
There's Patrick Johnson has checked in for St. Pat's. His first action of the game.
St. Val went baseline there. Nice pull up in transition again. Early in the shot clock, that's what they're looking for.
And Husbands being aggressive here. He's going to earn a trip to the line. Foul's going to go against Johnson.
Lydell is a great player. He's a lefty, but he's able to, penetrate to the basket using both his right and his left hand. He's being assertive here. Looks like Coach McGarrigle is, asking him to do that, making sure that he's getting into the paint as much as he can, as many paint threats as they can get today.
Unable to connect on the second. The rebound by Keefe. And Monroe is going to get an easy one. 17-11. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter in favor of Halifax.
And that's how you keep a good player in rhythm too, being able to get an easy putback like Monroe just did. Let's see if they can capitalize off the turnover here with their pressure.
As Keefe gets right to the rim, finishes. And now corner 3. That one's not going to fall for King. Taken by Keefe. Husbands now looking for Waller. And uses the screen. And the kick out for Crowther. He'll take a 3. Can't get that one to drop, but a good rebound here from Waller. Goes right in, and he's going to lose the handle on that one. It's going to be out of bounds. Irish possession, as Gazzetti's going to check in for Marina. Also into the game is number 10, Oscar Brown for Halifax.
St. Pat's connection with CBU as well. One of our rookie guards, Eugene Kanku, is a graduate from St. Pat's in Ottawa. We're lucky to have him. He's, I think he's the second leading rookie scorer in the league this year. He's averaging about 12 points a game for us.
And we have Waller with the rebound, moving quick in transition. And Keefe, and he's going to get fouled. That one's going to go against Precious King. Albert Opena back into the game. seems to be one of the leaders offensively for the Irish.
For sure, he's a great player. They really, try to get him different looks, especially in transition. He's great, and then he's a good shooter from the perimeter as well.
We mentioned in the game yesterday, he's kind of got that Westbrook instinct where he goes up for the rebound and just wants to go coast to coast by himself to get right to the rim.
For sure. I think a lot of their team has that same instinct. They're so eager to get up in transition. You can tell that they're trained to do very specific things in transition. They go left side break, they penetrate baseline, jump stop, reverse pivot, and then that's how they get into their offense just about every time.
And the Aaron pass there, looking for Kazadi. And it's Bridie on the wing. Good pressure here. Bridie gets it over Crowther to Waller for three, and he connects again. Grammer shooting the ball very well here in the opening quarter. Out to a 23-11 lead. But a minute and a half to go here in the first.
It seems like the key against St. Pat's is because their on-ball pressure is so good in the full court and initially on the ball in the half court. If you're able to move the ball a little bit from side to side, get them moving, you're able to get some looks. But if you play around with the ball while they're pressuring you, they're a good defensive team.
As we have Opeña now, 9 to shoot. Working on Crowther. He'll take a pull up. Can't get that one to fall. Rebounded by Crowther. Waller with the outlet to Bridie. And Waller's going to reset things here. Gets back on the wing to Bridie. Uses a screen from Marshall Harris. They're working around corner. Waller fakes the three. He'll get into the lane. Can't get the finish. Gets his own rebound. And puts it up and in. Kazadi now. Over to Cambrone. Cambrone will take a three. Can't find the net on that one. So we have 2-for-1 opportunity here for Halifax.
What a great quarter for Waller coming in off the bench.
That's a great pass
unreal.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to rest Bridie and Monroe here a little bit. He's come in and kept the same level. And what a luxury to have a guy like him coming off the bench. Great first quarter for him.
6-second differential from game clock to shot clock. And we're going to have a jump ball. St. Pat's possession. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And checking into the game is Ben Garcia.
And just that hustle play there. We haven't really said his name a whole lot, Ethan Marshall Harris today, but you can just see the impact that he has on the game. Big body, not afraid to throw it around. First guy on the floor there for the hustle play. That's what he does for them. He's a great player.
And the three no good there. Here we have Brown, outlets to Crowther. And he sells the fake. And it's going to be a foul on Opeña.
Some interesting clock management, I'll say, here to finish the quarter. A couple early shots.
I said it was going to be 2-for-1. I think we've had 4 or 5 possessions since then.
At least pretty quick shot there on their baseline out of bounds.
Crowther unable to make the first. And can't connect on either, but the rebound by Marshall Harris. And again by Brown. And looks like the quarter's gonna expire here. Score after 1. Halifax Grammar 27, St. Pat's Irish 11. And Matt, what was it that really separated Halifax that quarter from the athleticism that we see from the Irish?
Well, I think the Irish were missing a few shots from the perimeter. I think Grammar was forcing them into those shots in a lot of ways. And I think Grammar was able to get up and pressure them as well. They threw a little bit of a full court trap on them, threw them off, were able to get some turnovers. And I know a lot of times they say press a pressing team, and St. Pat's is definitely a pressing team. And Grammar was just able to get up and pressure, and I think that was the big difference. Plus, big performances by Monroe and Waller in that first quarter. Monroe had 3 threes, Waller hit a couple, so they're hitting from the outside, and I think that's kind of what separates them right now from so far what I've seen in this tournament, kind of from the rest of the pack. It seems like they're the top team so far in this tournament, and it's because they're so well balanced on the perimeter and inside.
As we're just about ready to get things back underway here for the second quarter. It's a great time to thank our gold sponsors, Nova Scotia Power and New Waterford Rotary, as well as our silver sponsors, Cape Breton Victoria Regional Centre for Education, Cape Breton Regional Municipality, Knights of Columbus New Waterford, Midtown PharmaSave, Province of Nova Scotia, RBC, Scotiabank, Something Creative, Subway, and Strong Chiropractic. Without all our great sponsors, it wouldn't be possible to have such a long-running tournament, the 37th year of Coal Bowl, a lot going on behind the scenes to have such a successful event every year.
When I committed to play at CBU way back in the day, I'm from Welland, Ontario, and went to Notre Dame High School there. And at Notre Dame, we host the longest-running high school basketball tournament in Ontario. I think it was its 60th or 61st year this year.
Wow.
So it's I felt that when I decided to come to Sydney, I felt like there was a lot of similarities between the towns and how things were, and the Coal Bowl is just another great example of that. 37th year, the organization of how things get done here, it's incredible. You just look around the gym, so many legends of the basketball community sitting around, and then Billy Burns as well, he's here too. So
yeah, surprisingly they still let him in the building.
I think Ronnie Shaw had to be, led in specifically to a seat, so they have to keep an eye on him as well.
As Monroe is back in the game, he's pushing in transition, gets to Bridie, he gets the hoop.
Grammar's really turning St. Pat's over right now. They're doing a great job, and then really capitalizing in transition.
And that pass mishandled by Opeña. Things getting away from the Irish a little bit right now. Minute into this second quarter.
You watch the pattern of St. Pat's though. Left side break, dribble penetration, jump stop if they don't have anything, reverse pivot and kick it to the player behind them. They're very programmed to do that. Grammar's doing a good job there. They're trapping, changing up their looks, making sure that they're taking away that pass. And St. Pat's just hasn't been sharp with their passing right now.
Coach Tim McGarrigle with the scouting report, I'm sure. He watched their game yesterday against Riverview.
For sure. And Tim's a great coach. One of the better coaches in the province at any level. He does such a great job at Grammar. Was obviously a tremendously successful AUS coach both at CBU and at Dalhousie. Grammar's lucky to have him.
And as you mentioned, Mark McGarrigle back on the bench today. He was dealing with some illness earlier in the week.
He was just telling me that. Hopefully he's feeling better.
And now it's Husbands. The screen from Marshall Harris. And Husbands gets right up and finishes off the glass.
They just have enough guys, right? You try to take one or two guys away, they just have that one extra guy all the time that can do the job for them, and that's what makes them so tough.
Yeah, they were tough enough the other day against Riverview without Marshall Harris.
Exactly.
And you add that big body and the skill of the big man.
Well, they've shown today with their four guards that have played with Monroe, Husbands, Waller, and Bridie, that any one of those four guys can get the job done, that any one of them can score in double figures. So you're kind of picking your poison of what you want to be able to do with them. And like you said, with Ethan Marshall Harris coming back, he's just it might take him a game or two to get, adjusted to things this week, but by the end of the week, he's going to be an impact player here for Grammer.
It's Waller going 1-on-3 in transition. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. They'll have 20 on the shot clock. On the inbound on the baseline. Monroe will take it. Marshall Harris. Up top to Waller, back to Monroe. He wants a three, and he gets one.
He's not even thinking today.
He's unconscious right now in the first half. As King now working on Monroe. Gets it out to Opeña. Opeña using the screen. Getting to the rim. Tries the acrobatic finish. Can't get it to go. Taken by Marshall Harris. Here's Husbands now in transition. He skipped to Waller. Back to Monroe, the trailer. Can't hit that one.
That was his easiest look of the day, too.
And now it's King. King attacking. Can't finish. Pace really picking up here in the second quarter. Husbands, the skip. Tries to get it to Monroe in the corner, but that's tipped out of bounds. As Malu will check back in for the Irish. And Keith will check in for Halifax Grammer.
Just a lot of such great unselfish play by Grammer. Even though Monroe missed that last shot. Great hit ahead in transition. Got a couple turns of the ball. Wide open three for the trailer. Great stuff by Grammer.
Waller gets it back to Monroe. Drives. And can't get the dish off. Looks like we're going to have a jump ball. St. Pat's possession. Ken Brown going to inbound. He gets it to Garcia. Garcia over to St. Val. To Marina. He'll drive. Puts up the follow-away shot. Can't get it to go. Taken by Waller. Waller gets it over to Brown. He can't hit. Rebounded by the smallest guy out there, Ben Garcia. But quick turnover as Monroe takes it. Gets it to Waller. Now Monroe to Keith. Keith driving. And tries to kick it out. We have a steal here by Oscar Brown.
I really like the stuff that Coach McGarrigle has Grammer running offensively. Most of the time they start in a 5-out set, so the big is away from the basket in the center of the floor. If they hit the wing, they run a pistol action where they pitch it back to get a middle ball screen for one of their great guards to come off. If they hit the big, they set some great flare screens for their shooters coming off to the corner. All that with the basket and the paint open most of the time so that all of their guards can get to the rim. Great stuff by Grammer. It's showing so far in this game with a 26-point lead.
And an offensive rebound off the free throw there by Keith. He gets to Husbands. The skip to Brown. He'll drive baseline, loses the handle, and here comes Opeña in transition. Opeña decides to pull it back, and looks like a long two there from Marina. He was saying there was some contact, no whistle, and Husbands just misses an easy layup. As it's the Irish coming quickly in transition with Malu getting to the free throw line. Foul's going to go against Keith.
It kind of shows where St. Pat's, I think, is struggling a little bit today. Even though he's getting to the line here, number 11 for them, Malu. They're headmanning the basketball, they're penetrating, but he had 4 guys around him that time, still trying to force it up against all that defensive pressure. If they can get the ball moving side to side, I think that's going to open up their game. So the second side of the floor is able to get to the rim.
Malu able to connect on both those free throws. They are struggling to score the ball. 13 points here, almost 15 minutes into this one. Anytime you are scoring less points than minutes played, it's a tough way to come out.
Felt like us a couple times this year, actually, at CBU.
Waller now into the corner for Crowther. He'll drive, and he tries to put it up over the defender. Can't get it to go. Here's Opeña. Gets it up. Transition for St. Val. As we're going to have Monroe checking back into the game, along with Kazadi.
We have a running joke on the bench that all of the timeouts that I have never used in games are in some timeout cemetery somewhere, and they're going to come back to haunt me. I was just noticing that St. Pat's hasn't used one yet this half, and you wonder if they would, think about using one to potentially get themselves composed. But you know what, I'm a fan of that. I like leaving players out there when they're dealing with adversity, so that they can try to figure things out themselves, see who the leaders are, see how they're going to do, against that adversity. And right now, that's what their coach is doing. I got a lot of respect for that, actually.
And we have another possession here on the offense for the Irish. It's Malu attacking. The fake, gets it out. Kick back to Malu. He'll take a three. Can't get that one to fall. It's going to be Grammer ball and a tip out.
I think if you were watching us when I haven't used timeouts, I think Ronnie Shaw is probably more stressed out than anybody else during the game.
I mean, Ronnie's just always stressed out. I don't know if I've ever seen Ronnie comfortable.
No, I agree with you, but he's just kind of always. I think there's a couple times that he's looked at me, kind of looked down his glasses at me and said, "Are you sure you don't want to use timeout here?" But it's a running joke that we have going.
And a lot of coaches do like to hoard their time, especially in the second half.
For sure.
Not wanting to take one to the third. I mean, personally, I like to have 3 timeouts in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
take one before the 2-minute break, use it or lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get 2 in the last 2.
Yeah, it's always. And in the first half, I like to save them a lot of times for like special situations. So if there's like a baseline out of bounds or a sideline out of bounds with, a low shot clock or something like that, or towards the end of a quarter, I like to use it at those opportunities if I can. But I think it's tough in the FIBA game. I think that because of the rules and the amount of timeouts, that all of the pressure, or it's all on the players most of the time. When you watch NCAA and they get like 6 timeouts a half,
yeah.
It's all in the control of the coaches to be able to control how things are going. But with FIBA, the players have to be able to figure things out on the fly. They have to be able to adjust and adapt to how the other team's playing. And you just can't always use a timeout to get them going that way. So it's that's what I really like about the FIBA game. I think there's been a lot of great rule changes that have happened over the last couple of years that have made the game that much better, and I think you see with the NBA actually jumping to a lot of them as well.
As we have 2 quick plays here, getting to the rim, no whistles on either end. They're really letting them play right now. As we have Brown to Crowther for 3. Can't get the roll on that one. Rebounded by Opeña. And now the pressure here by Husbands. They have to get it over the half.
Ooh, that was close.
Barely gets over. It's Malu. Screen from Kazadi. Working on Monroe now. Back to Kazadi. He'll drive. And he's going to get bumped. And he's going to get it to go. They're going to give him the continuation call. That's veteran official Paul DeBailey with the and 1. As we're going to have a timeout here for St. Pat's.
I think the one rule I would like to see in the NBA, and I don't know if they'll ever do that, is the cylinder rule.
Yeah.
To be able to take it off the cylinder like you can in FIBA. It's, I don't know, I think with the athleticism and things like that, there would be some strategy to how that would be utilized, and especially on the free throw line, there'd be a lot of guys in the NBA that would just be able to take it off the rim if it's hanging there on a free throw.
And it kind of changes how you go about your rebounding as well, right? You can,
for sure.
You can just go above the rim and take it.
Well, and then
And
offensively as well, right? To be
Yeah.
able to get above the rim, I think it's brings excitement to the game. Yeah, I think they've, like I said, I think the NBA's done a great job of adapting some of these FIBA rules. I really like the 14-second reset on an offensive rebound. I really like the 14-second set at the end of a game. If you advance the ball, there's only 14 seconds on the shot clock. This kind of stuff just brings excitement to the game. And I know, like the NCAA, if you are watching, it's a different game. They want to keep their games separate, but I just don't understand why one country in the world plays differently than everybody else. That's the only thing for me.
And what are your thoughts on the new travel rule with the 0 step?
Yeah, it's interesting. The biggest thing that I did when the rules came out was talk to as many officials as I could, and we train it now. Like we talk about it and we train it in practice to make sure that guys are using that advantage as much as they can. And it's not bad. I think it does a couple of things though. I think it takes some pressure off the officials in a lot of ways because they basically just don't call any travels anymore.
They basically just eliminated the travel.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's basically just eliminated, right?
And that's a gorgeous finish from Opeña, the up and under, getting right to the rim, cutting into this Grammar lead.
This is what I was waiting for them to do yesterday, actually, with some type of zone pressure. They didn't show that against Riverview.
The work by the big men down low. It's Marshall Harris and Josh Rindwar battling down low on the defensive end there as Opeña attacks.
He's their catalyst. He's the key guy for St. Pat's. He's got to get going if they want to continue to cut into this lead. They've made a nice little run here in the last couple minutes. Coach used a timeout. They came out in a 1-2-2, three-quarter court pressure, and that's kind of stalled out the Grammar offense. Grammar did get a couple really good looks, a couple looks from three, but weren't able to capitalize.
Reminder, you can hit us up on Twitter at Coal Bowl Live, and you can use the hashtag Coal Bowl Classic. Some questions, comments, feedback, analysis. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, anything at all. We'd love to hear from you. And we do have a tweet in from Sydney Academy B-Ball. So who is Jonathan Penny.
Yep.
He says, great comment here today with me and Matt Skin, Coach Matt Skin. Great play-by-play and even better basketball conversation. I always wonder why Matt hoards his timeouts. Keep up the great job. Thanks for the tweet. Coach Penny, as Monroe hits again from long range.
I think a lot of people wonder that when they're watching us play. I've read some Facebook and Twitter comments about it after games before. It's pretty good.
As we approach the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. 6 seconds to shoot for Malu Malu. Drives, he's bumped by Marshall Harris. He's going to head to the line for two. And that's 5 team fouls here, just the one on St. Pat's, 5 for Grammar.
So you made the comment, I think it was about midway through the quarter, that the refs were letting them play a little bit, and then, now over the last couple of minutes, they've tightened up the whistle. It's given St. Pat's the opportunity, to stop the clock, get to the line, try to cut into this lead. Coach Al McGuire always said, if a team starts fouling you in the last bit of the game, just foul them right back. So if a team's trying to stop the clock on you, just foul them right back and just play the free throw game for it.
Yep.
I mean, every game at the Coal Bowl would be an hour behind.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add an extra 2 hours at each game time. We'll only get 2 games in a day. And good defense there from Husbands. As it's going to be tipped out of bounds, 16 to shoot for the Irish.
Again, you see Opeña, a great player, try to go 1-on-4 or 5 there, try to get into the paint. He was fortunate that the ball went off a Grammar foot, and they're retaining the possession.
And it's Malu Malu working on Waller. Using the screen from Ruta Rindwar. It's Opeña, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Lack of awareness there from the Irish. Seems like they're holding. It seems like they're holding for a last shot, but they're doing every time, running down the shot clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right now. I think they're trying to set up this middle third ball screen and the middle flat back screen ball screen that they're trying to run, get their players to the right hand, but I'm not sure why they're running so much time off the clock before they're trying to do that.
And we have Monroe now for Grammer, gets it over to Husbands. In the corner 3 for Larkin, kick at that one to fall. And we're gonna have a foul against Husbands. That'll send St. Pat's to the line.
It's gotta be his second, I think.
Second personal foul, yep.
He just gave the customary player second foul, second quarter. Coach, I'm good. I'm good. Don't take me off. I'm good. I won't get a third, I promise. I normally put guys back in with a second foul, though, in the second quarter. I probably do that too much.
We're under a minute to play here, so
yeah.
You don't want to pick up a cheap one.
Yeah,
especially still leading by 19.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit earlier with him, you know. Even though they are going to be on offense here, you try to find some offense and defense times to get subs if you can.
Opeña gets the first one to go. And connects on both. As Cambrone is going to check into the game for Opeña. Get it up to Monroe. They'll take a 3. And he's just feeling himself right now.
It's that short 3-point line. I think in the new gym at Grammer they have the FIBA line. So
really?
Yeah, this is
that's a huge difference.
Huge difference for him. So he's feeling that. He's feeling the short line for sure. He's got at least 4 threes, I think, this half.
And 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot, and that's going to be a shot clock violation.
Multiple possessions here in a row. Grammer's played great defense.
Yeah, St. Pat's really struggling to get a flow on their offense right now. Grammer able to hold for the last shot of the half. And we have a message in from Billy Burns, who wants me to let you know that nobody can see your hands.
That doesn't mean we're not having good conversation. I looked over at him, and I think he was working on that tweet for the whole quarter. I think it took him the whole quarter to put that tweet in.
He had his phone out with the one finger pressing it.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was.
As we have it out, it's Larkin. Larkin gonna have to force one up. And they're gonna count the bucket. So your halftime score is Grammer 45, St. Pat's Irish 23. We're gonna take a 10-minute break here. We'll be back with you for the second half. Hope you'll stay tuned.
What an asshole. Did he text you that?
And we are back for second half action here between St. Pat's Irish and Halifax Grammar. Grammar leading the Irish 45-23 at the break. And it looks like we have a shot clock malfunction there, so we're going to reset. Get things back underway here. And Matt, what was it that separated Halifax from St. Pat's in that opening half?
Well, first off, you got to speak of the player, Ryan Monroe. He had 21 points in the first half, 5 3-pointers. Just did a little bit of everything. He's a great distributor as well, but he was the best player on the floor, no doubt. I mean, at the same time, I think we got to talk about their defense. I mean, holding St. Pat's to 23 points in the first half, just stifling. Great pressure, able to get into passing lanes, get a couple steals. They've been really good.
If you're just joining us, I'm Alex McLeod. I'm here with Matt Skinn, head coach of the CBU Capers. Great to have you joining us today. And it looks like Ryan Monroe's going to make his first mistake of the game and fail to catch the ball there.
A couple turnovers here by Grammar to start the second half.
And good fake there. Like Azadi gets Marshall Harris off his feet there. Husbands now driving baseline. He's going to attack and finish the N1.
He's really good at getting into the lane and then creating that contact, and then that contact kind of lets him adjust in the air so that he can finish at the rim. I thought the three-quarter court pressure here, for the first couple of possessions of the half might be a little bit of a change of momentum for St. Pat's, but great way to attack it. I always say that if anybody's pressing, or you want to invite that type of press, you want to invite the zone pressure, you want to attack it and kind of use it against them to get get an easy look.
And that was Matthew Kendall's third personal foul. He picked up 2 early in that first quarter, had to sit for the remainder of the half. And he picks up his third. His coach is lucky to stay with him here early.
Yeah, he did a couple of big threes yesterday against Riverview. Pretty good size. He gets shot ready early. Good shooter from the perimeter.
And he was also in foul trouble in yesterday's game. Again, 2 quick fouls. He was able to stay in the game. He really managed his fouls well in the second half. See if he can do the same today. And his coach, St. Pat's, Matthew Koslik, is going to have a quick word with Greg Callahan. Maybe a disagreement about maybe the way the game's being officiated right now.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what that was about, but
it didn't look like it was about a specific incident.
Yeah, I couldn't tell there. I'm always interested to see those types of conversations in high school games where the refs actually take a moment to stop all play and everybody's kind of standing around while the ref is talking to a coach. It's not a bad idea to do, but it takes a lot of time.
Now it's Larkin. Larkin getting to the rim. He's blocked by Opeña. And just a careless move there from St. Val going behind the back. Husband's going to shoot the 3. Easy rebound here for Monroe. He'll kick it back out to Waller to reset. It's Monroe now. The screen from Marshall Harris. And the nice bounce pass down low to Larkin. He's going to lose it though. Here comes Opeña. He gets it out to Malu in transition. He finishes the layup.
I think that's kind of been a little bit of the difference there. There's been a lot of physical play underneath, and you watch the last possession there. Ethan Marshall Harris was just kind of okay with it, accepting of it. He knows it's going to be a bit of a physical game. And then, St. Pat's, when they're getting into the paint, they're kind of looking for a call right now because of the physicality. And they have to go expecting the contact expecting that they're going to get hit, and then focus on the finish.
And we have another tweet in, this one from Aaron Barrington. He says, hard to get any work done today with me and Matt Skin doing the game. Great job, boys. Bill Burns, give them a break.
That's not going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
As Marshall Harris gets it over to Husbands. Husbands, a nice pass to Monroe in the corner. Can't get that one to drop. Here comes St. Val in transition. And he's going to get swatted away by Marshall Harris, but it's right to Kendall, who hits a three. We give Marshall Harris the assist on that one.
Kendall has been very consistent with his Jamal Murray bow and arrow after every three so far this week.
And Matt, what are your thoughts on celebrations after hitting shots?
There's a time and a place. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
Especially in a game like this where it's so back and forth. I mean, in the NBA, it's a little bit easier to happen because nobody's really pressing and everybody's playing half-court defense, so you have time to do those things. But, yeah, I mean, there's a time and a place for all that stuff. And yes, it's good and bad. I mean, sometimes it can get the team going a little bit.
And St. Pat's continuing to run here. Cut it to 14. Seems like it was just 23 2 minutes ago, so.
Yeah, like I was saying, this three-quarter court press has taken them a little bit out of rhythm.
And Husbands settling for the outside shot.
They're doing a good job of finding Marshall Harris in the middle of the zone pressure. Then they're kicking it to the corner. But if they had one more turn or got it right back to the middle, they might be able to, get a little bit better look. Husbands has taken a couple contested threes now from the corner. You can see it on St. Pat's. They're working really hard right now to come back. The amount of effort that it takes to come back in a game, it's incredible. So they're going to need a huge effort here to be able to come back.
And it looks like we have a foul on a three-point attempt. St. Val disagreeing. St. Val really not happy with that call.
He does not like that one.
Pena trying to calm him down, get his head back in the game. Monroe's going to head to the line.
In a setting like this, too, it just becomes apparent when things like that happen and a bad call happens and a player, is involved and upset about it. You can see both referees looking at him as well.
And it looks like Kendall thought there was only going to be two shots.
Yeah.
As he went to inbound the ball. We got one more coming from Monroe. Monroe 2 for 2 from the line this trip.
At CBU, we constantly talk about not taking the situation emotionally hostage we talk about. So if everybody has to worry about you because of your emotions, that's not what we want to ever have happen as a group. You just don't want to take the situation hostage with your emotions ever. So, we'll see if St. Val's able to, recoup after he makes that two there. But, him being that emotional is always a tough thing for a team to deal with.
Well, like you say, the mental game is half the battle.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be a liability out there just because you get your head wrapped around a play that may have happened 5-10 minutes ago.
Exactly.
You got to move on and do the best for your team in the moment.
It's so hard. It's hard as a coach.
Oh, yeah, it's easy to say.
It's really easy to say, but, I think if you have a winning attitude, if you're resilient, I think those are the most important things that you can do. And if you want to win, you're just never going to put yourself in those situations. Like you said, it's hard to do. It's hard to, it's hard with your best friends around to, call them out. It's hard to do that. It's, because you don't want to, you want to make sure that you're still friends after a lot of time and emotions get in the way.
Yep.
But it's one of the keys to being a really good team is having good internal leadership from your players. And, quite honestly, the greatest competition in youth sports is obviously Carleton, who everybody looks to, and Dave Smart is just a master at that emotional side of the game of getting his guys to play hard all the time. And that's I think that's the difference every year with them when they get to that final game, how emotionally prepared they are to play and how keen competitively they are.
Yeah, Carleton has been the pinnacle of excellence in the youth sports over the last
North America, yeah.
North America. Although they did not capture the youth sports title last year. That was Calgary.
It was.
You know all about that. Matt, you were the assistant coach with that Calgary team last year.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had a great group of guys that, a lot of great international experience over the last couple summers. Guys playing in the Pan Am games, guys playing in the FISU games, playing against guys who played at Carleton, and playing with guys and just kind of getting a feel for that international experience and what it takes, the kind of work ethic it takes. But I would say the biggest catalyst to that last year was our point guard, David Kapinga. I mean, you can list all of the accomplishments that you want about him, and his life story is an incredible one. His family coming over from Africa at a young age, and not having anything to work. And he was a walk-on at Calgary, going to be the MVP at Nationals. But the biggest thing is he got a phone call before the season, and that he had a chance to play on the FISU games team, and they were just considering him. He wasn't even on the team. They were just like, David, we're considering you to be on the team. And from that day on, his work ethic just was incredible. I've really never seen anything like it. Just the amount of time that he put in the gym, how he went to the weight room, and that kind of just got the ball rolling. It was like a snowball effect for the rest of the team. Everyone was like, oh, if this guy's going to do it, I got to keep up. If this guy's going to do it. And we had to kick guys out of the gym. They were just in there all the time. It was incredible.
That's a great problem for a coach to have.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Just under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Grammar continuing to lead 53-39 over the Irish.
Already 16 points here in the quarter for St. Pat's. A little bit of some adjustments at halftime by Coach Kosleg to make sure that they can capitalize a little bit better offensively.
And Kendall will draw a charge there. Might be nominated for an Academy Award, but he gets the whistle. The foul is going to go against Keith. We have St. Val running the point for the Irish. Gets it over to Kazadi. He'll attack. And the difference right now is St. Pat's is finishing at the rim.
Yeah, well, you can see that they're not forcing it as much as they were. Nice little horn set there. Kazadi was able to get it to his left hand, finish with the contact. With Marshall Harris or Crowther in there, or Keefe in there, Grammar's got a lot of big bodies, and it just seemed like St. Pat's was trying to force it against 3-4 guys in the first half, and they've changed that. But I also think this zone press has kind of changed the flow for Grammar. They were able to kind of run their stuff like we were talking about offensively, get into a rhythm, and right now they're not really getting into the same stuff as they were. Forcing right now Marshall Harris to make a lot of the decisions out of the high post, and that's probably what they want.
St. Pat's likely focused on trying to contain Ryan Monroe in this half. As you said, 21 points in that first half. They've done a good job on him so far in the third.
And this is where if you're Grammar and Coach McGarrigle, you're hoping that Marshall Harris can make an impact, get a couple points on the board. They're struggling a little bit offensively to get open looks. Here he makes an impact getting an offensive rebound, able to get to the line, hoping to add to their point total here.
And that's going to be Kendall's fourth personal foul. He's likely going to sit for, you have to think, at least 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Difficult loss for St. Pat's, but we have Malu going in transition. Gets it to St. Val. Attacks, can't finish. And it's rebounded by Waller. Waller gets it up to Monroe. Into the corner for Crowther. He can't hit. Rebounded by St. Pat's. Here comes St. Val in transition. Gets to his right hand and gets up and under for the finish. It's a 10-point game.
Crowther's got the green light from Coach McGarrigle. He hasn't really, every time he's caught it on the three so far and he's been open, he's looked to shoot.
Nice pass there from Monroe up to Crowther. It's Waller. Monroe wide open. And he can't get the roll on that one. St. Pat's maybe bailed out a little bit, leaving a good shooter open. And they get it around. It's Kazadi. Kazadi attacks, looking for a whistle. And like you said, you can't just look for whistles. You got to pursue the basketball even after.
For sure.
After you lose it.
And they're just putting their head down, trying to go in against that pressure. They got lots of time. Get a couple, like I said, a couple turns. They'll probably get a little bit better looks. Great
That's a nice little give and go there from Marshall Harris and Ryan Monroe.
I'm kicking stuff. My feet are too big.
And looks like St. Pat's going back to that slow it down offense. As Malumalu's going to get a mid-range jumper. Can't get that to fall.
Well, Ontario's just moved to a shot clock now. They play four 8-minute quarters, 32-minute game. And they had played without a shot clock for a really long time. I'm proud to say that I won the Southern Ontario Championships when I was in high school. 29-27 was the final score.
What?
And I had 12 points that game, and everyone thought I was all that. But yeah, 29-27.
Wow.
Shout out to my high school coach, Mike Rayo, who is now the head women's basketball coach at Brock University. His son, Chris, is my assistant at CBU. And we ran flex and played man-to-man defense. And that's all we did. You had to be ready to play defense for long periods of time.
So flex must have been an easy transition going to
Billy Burns. Yeah, it was. I know the flex offense pretty well. It's a big joke still within our coaching staff about that all the time, asking if we're going to run it. They said that I refused to call it flex for a couple of years, but I'm a big fan.
St. Pat's losing the ball here in the backcourt. It's Malu mishandling it. And 14 on the shot clock for Grammer. They get it to Waller. Get it to the big man, Marshall Harris. He'll go outside a screen for Husbands. They get it to Waller in the corner. Looking for the big man, tipped away. And here comes Malu in transition. And good hustle here from Grammer, taking it right back. It's Brown. He'll slow the pace. Get it out top to Waller. Over to Larkin. Husbands fakes the three. He'll drive. Lots of contact, no whistle. And it's taken by the Irish. Malu. Up top, they get it to Opeña. Opeña drives. He'll take a mid-range jumper.
That's a nice shot.
57-46. 30 seconds to go here in the third. Husbands drives, absorbs the contact, and finishes off the glass. These two teams really running and gunning right now.
5 bodies in the paint there for Grammer. As Malu took it in, so falling into that trap again that they got into in the first half.
Grammer holding for the last shot, 4 seconds to shoot. And great pursuit there. A lot of guys might have looked for a whistle there, but Marshall Harris just keeps going at it.
He just keeps working. He never stops. Never stops. Like I said, they were struggling a little bit to score that quarter. Grammer. What I said was, you hope Coach McGarrigle, you think that if you can get a couple second chance points there from Marshall Harris, that can kind of stem this run that St. Pat's was going on, and he was able to capitalize, got to the line a few times, a couple of easy baskets around the rim, and stretched the lead back to 15 entering the fourth quarter.
And St. Pat's had 23 points in that first half, 23 points in the third quarter. getting things going a little more offensively. Got to lock it down on the defensive end if they're going to try and cut this 15-point lead down. And we mentioned Kendall with his 4 fouls. He's such an instrumental part of their offense and their defense. Do you maybe go with him a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think you just got to go for it if you're going to play him. I feel like he has a little bit of emotional leadership with them. He, in warm-ups and things like that, he's kind of getting guys going all the time. So, you got to roll the dice. If you're going to go for this game, you got to use him at some point. And I would probably go for it. But I think for Coach McGarrigle here, I would write 2 things on my whiteboard. I would write in big marker letters 23 points in the first half, 23 points in the third quarter, and just show it to the team and let them know that they got to be sorting that out moving forward here. They don't want to do that again this quarter.
We're just about ready to get things underway. We'd like to thank our bronze sponsors, Cape Breton University,
Shout out.
Destination Cape Breton Association, Horal Superior Sausage, Mayflower Mall, New Waterford Credit Union, AA Monroe Insurance, Strum Insurance, Jared Pfeiffer. We also like to thank our friends of Coal Bowl, Big Daddy's Pizza, Shannon Spa and Electrolysis, MLA Tammy Martin, Stone Bros Plumbing and Heating, Safety Check, Army Navy Air Force Unit 217, The Body Shop, Mayflower Mall, Roaches Road Trucking and Landscaping, Alexis LaMarche, Independent Norwex Consultant, MJM Landscaping, Ocean Fuels, Shauna Ty, Community Press, MP Mark Eiking, Rutherham Source for Sports, Totten Insurance Group, and the French Club New Waterford. Again, without all of our amazing sponsors and volunteers, it would not be possible to have this tournament year in, year out.
I've never had Big Daddy's Pizza.
You've never had Big Daddy's Pizza?
No.
Oh, you have to have
It's pretty good?
Oh my God, it's the best pizza in the world.
In the world?
In the world.
I'm a big Napoli guy.
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
Well, what's Billy Burns going to say about that? He's a big Napoli guy too, isn't he?
He's a big Napoli. He might be Greco too.
No. Greco?
Yep.
I feel bad for him. Big Daddy's is the best?
Big Daddy's is the best. Oh, you have to have it.
Okay. What makes it the best?
It's the crust.
Okay.
And like the sauce. It's just so good.
Okay.
You have to try it. You can't even describe it. You can't even describe it. We have Brown now at the line for Grammer. Unable to connect on the first free throw.
I mean, I've always lived in Sydney. That's why I haven't lived in New Waterford. So, I mean, I know it's close by, but so I'm going to have to come out here one time, pick it up on the way home or something like that.
I mean, I was at Antigonish for a few years, and they think they're a pizza town. They are not a pizza town compared to New Waterford.
No, you don't like the wheel?
No. You know what they call it, the wheel?
Yeah.
Because it turns in your stomach.
Yeah, there's a lot of cheese going on. A lot of cheese at the wheel.
Pretty confident we don't have any viewers in Antigonish right now.
Well, I didn't say that it was bad. I just said that there's a lot of cheese at the wheel. I mean, you could say what you want.
It looks like we're going to get Oscar Brown whistled for a block. Nine minutes to go here in the fourth. 16-point game. And it's St. Val. Driving baseline, kicking out for Cambrone.
That's got to be a double dribble.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And the drive, and the and one is good. That's Kazadi.
I'm a little bit of a broken record. I know that, but what's the difference with St. Pat's successful possessions offensively? That time they were getting the ball moving side to side. It was towards the end of the shot clock, but it wasn't them standing, pounding the ball at the top, looking for a ball screen, getting the shot clock down. They were getting the defense moving from side to side, getting some action, getting Grammer involved, able to get to the rim for the and one.
Like you say, move the ball, use your athleticism to your advantage. You see some athleticism there.
Exactly.
Waller to the corner, Monroe, three, no good. St. Pat's hurrying in transition, and we're going to get a foul. It's going to be the third team foul already, just a minute and a half into this fourth quarter. One of the easiest way to cut into a lead, get into bonus early, and get some points with the clock stopped. St. Val now. The screen from Kendall. And nice spin move. Gets to the rim for a finish. Cutting the lead down to 11. Grammer. Another close to a 8-second violation there. The shot clock was at 16.
I'm sure Coach McGarrigle would love to be able to turn down to his bench right now and go to Bridie. But it seems like whatever injury he had in the first half, he came back in briefly, but hasn't played at all, sorry, in the second half. Big loss here for Grammer.
And like we mentioned earlier, it's such a long week. You got 6 games. If you're going to win the tournament, you got 6 games to play in 6 days.
For sure.
Tough on the body. Anytime.
In tournaments like this, there's always a day or two that are just, it's just a bit of a clunker. You know, where you're just not at your best, the energy's not there, and you got to be able to, win games like this. So
as Kendall comes in,
bow and arrow,
always with the celebration, cutting it to an 8-point lead. That's a big 3 for him.
It's a big difference when you can make that reversal pass like they make, and you have a shooter there. That's the difference with Kendall. He's able to knock that 3 down.
Marshall Harris now on the low block, working on Kendall. Kendall doing a good job not fouling. And Pena just passing to the wrong team. That was
Georgetown Hoyas.
That was a mistake, giving it right to Husbands.
St. Pat's a little bit fortunate right here the last few possessions. Marshall Harris,
and sorry, don't want to interrupt you. They called that foul on Kendall there.
Really?
So that looks like it's his 5th foul.
Oh man,
that's a big loss.
He's surprised too. But what I was saying was that I feel like St. Pat's has been fortunate here the last couple of possessions. Marshall Harris missed a couple around the rim. Monroe's had a couple of really good looks from 3 in the corner that he hasn't capitalized on. Husband's missing a free throw here. They have to, see themselves in a good position right now with 6:53 left in the 4th quarter.
Nine-point lead now. Malu. And they get it up to Cambrone, gets it down low to Rutin. I can't even. Rutarindwa.
There you go.
There we go. I haven't said it in a long time.
No, you did a good job. I haven't tried yet today. 7-point game.
And they swing it around, get it up top to Monroe. Get it to Marshall Harris, the big man. And they're going to let them play here. No whistle. And that one's going to be St. Pat's ball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Cambrone to inbound. He gets it into St. Val. Working on Husbands. Attacking left, getting to the right hand and finishing. 5-point game. This is as close as they've been here in the second half. Monroe now, nice dump down pass from Marshall Harris. Crafty move.
Those two guys are just the answer so far. Husbands hasn't been doing as much this half. Has had some good looks, but those two guys, they have to be your best players at this time of the game.
And you can definitely see the chemistry between Monroe and Marshall Harris. Monroe looking a lot better having his big man out with him today. And we're going to have a shot clock violation. It looks like the Irish are going to take a timeout here.
Looked like Coach McGarrigle had the timeout in, but St. Pat's is going to end up using the timeout, so they'll have 2 left here with, what is it, 5.5 left, 5.5 to play?
Yep. Reminder, you can hit us up on Twitter at AlexMcLeod24, at Coach Matt Skin, and
That's
at
right.
Coal Bowl Live. You can also use the hashtag Coal Bowl Classic.
I'm just hoping that all the CBU players are in class and not watching this so that they can't hit me up on Twitter right now.
We do have a tweet in from Jeff Shaw.
Oh, okay.
He says, excellent broadcast with Coach Skin. Get me on the in-game call for the Royals games. Downtown for 3.
He's one of the best. He was the game day announcer in the Sullivan Fieldhouse, and my assistant coach Ron Shaw, his son, and had some of the best in-game calls that I've ever seen. He loves a couple names. He really loved the name Meshach Lufile. That was his favorite one, I think. And I'll always remember when a couple years ago when Jack McCauley hit the 3 to beat Dal in overtime, and he had a portable microphone, and he was on the floor running after Jack in the corner of the gym while everybody was raiding the court, and he was
Screaming his name?
He was still commentating while he had the mic in his hand. It was great.
And you bring up Meshach. Me and Dylan did the broadcast for CBU when he was, I think he was in his 5th year.
Okay.
And we called him Lufile
Yep.
the whole year,
Yep.
not knowing that it was Lufile. And so the next year we're doing the Highlanders broadcast.
Right.
And his brother is there.
Yep.
And so we're like, no, we're confident. We know it's Lufile.
Yep.
So we messaged him. He's like, have we been saying your name wrong all year? He's like, yeah, don't worry, guys.
That's just Meshach's personality. He's
Yeah.
such a good guy. He would never correct you. And I think Jeff Shaw said Lufile the whole time, too.
5-point game here. Waller attacking. Nice dump down pass. It's Marshall Harris getting the easy 2. And
Meshach was such a great story. You know, wasn't a great student coming out of high school, but then was able to graduate from CBU, went on to play professionally overseas for a couple years, and now is playing in the NBL Canada. It's great to see him have such great success.
7-point lead here for Grammer. Waller with 12 on the clock. Gets it to Husbands. He'll take a 3. And kick at the roll on that one. Rebounded by Kazadi. Here comes St. Val. And it's Malu. Now it's Kazadi. He'll take a 3, and he hits. 4-point game.
A little flex action there from St. Pat's. Gets a good look for Kazadi, knocks it down.
And Monroe wide open, gets it to his big man.
Yeah, that's a foul. But no, he put his coach is asking if he took it in his chest, but he brought his hands down below his shoulders.
The whistles have that effect, right? The hands always go up as soon as the whistle is blown.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think if you're St. Pat's, though, in that situation, they've had a couple opportunities here to step in on Marshall Harris when he's going to the paint. He's not. I don't think he's going to Euro step or anything like that when he's going to the rim. So if you step in there, I think if you step up a little bit early, you can take a charge on him.
And there is no restricted zone on these floors, so opportunity to take the charge from the big man.
What year do you think this floor was put in?
Oh, I used to know this. Oh, Canada.
Was it on there?
What does that
was it
Canada
Canada
Games
Games
say?
for 87?
Yeah.
That's when they put it in?
Yeah.
Man, it's looking good.
I'm a little bit biased, but it's always been my favorite floor among the high schools in Cape Breton.
Yeah.
We're going to have Irish inbounding on the baseline with 14.
I think they got Lord Cormier to come in every Christmas break, too, to come down and spit shine it before
That's
the
right.
Coal Bowl as well.
And Ruta Rindwa can't hit that jumper, but we're going to have a rebounding foul on Larkin. foul against Grammer here. They did a good job. They haven't fouled in the last 5 minutes. It was early in the fourth when they picked up their third. Opena to inbound. Gets it into Malu. Over to St. Val. Working on Monroe. Drives left. And he's going to get called for a travel.
There's great gap health there by David Waller.
Keefe checks back in for Grammer.
Going with both big guys right now for Grammer. I haven't seen this look yet today.
Waller swings it over to Husbands. They get it to Keefe at the elbow. Drives, nice bounce pass down low for Marshall Harris, the big action.
Yeah, beautiful play. Keefe making an impact right away as he comes in.
And here's Malu. 6-point lead for Grammer. Just under 3 minutes to play. And it's Opena now. He'll take a pull-up jumper. Can't get the roll on that one. Big rebound by Ruta Rindwa, but he can't get that one to drop. Gonna have Waller now, slowing the pace for Grammer. Husbands attacks, puts up a floater. And another big rebound from Marshall Harris. We're gonna have a jump ball. It's gonna be Grammer possession.
I feel like Husbands is just forcing it just a little bit here coming down the stretch. Got into the lane, that's a tough shot. Got into the paint. Marshall Harris though with a huge rebound. He's been playing great the second half, just all over the place.
And Coach Tim McGarrigle will call a timeout here. Use it or lose it at this point. His first timeout of the half. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Leading by 6. They're gonna have a baseline inbound here. They're gonna have 14 seconds to shoot.
Coach Mark McGarrigle leading the huddle here. Great job, always doing a great job. Great basketball mind, drawing up the play here for Halifax Grammar School. Big possession here, up 6 with a few minutes left in the game.
We're almost ready to get things back underway here. And you have to give St. Pat's a lot of credit. They played a great second half.
Yeah, it was looking pretty bleak at times there in the first half. Their energy wasn't there. A lot of turnovers on the offensive end. Defensively, Grammer kind of getting what they wanted. But the change of defense, I think, has really kind of allowed them to come back into this game. This three-quarter court trap that they have going. Let's see if they stick with it now for the last 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Waller going to inbound on the baseline. And they get it right into Marshall Harris. And he's going to earn a trip to the line.
Beautiful play there, drawn up by Mark McGarrigle. Coming out of the timeout, baseline out of bounds, getting Marshall Harris to the line.
Yeah, you can see that Keefe kind of seal. Harris is coming in down the lane.
It was a nice line play. Pop Monroe to the corner. Have to pay attention to him. Obviously, Keefe took the middle of the zone, just buried him underneath the basket, allowed Marshall Harris to come straight down the lane.
And 1 of 2 for Marshall Harris, but a big offensive rebound for Husbands. And a steal here for St. Val, looking to draw some contact, but he goes in for the 2.
Great play. Cutting off the defender, making sure that Husbands couldn't get a block at the rim.
Waller now. To Monroe, gets it all the way to a wide open Husbands, and good defense there by Kazadi. 5-point game, under 2 minutes to go here. Hesitation move by St. Val. He gets it up top to Kazadi. He'll take a 3. Can't get it to drop. And that one's going to be rebounded by Waller.
Great job in there by Keefe to keep 21 James Marine off the glass. Secure it for Grammer.
Marshall Harris now gets it back to Husbands. They're looking for Monroe. He gets it on the wing. Pass down to Keefe. Looking for the big man, can't get it to him. Tipped Husbands at 2 seconds on the shot clock. And can't get that to drop. Rebounded by St. Val.
Big possession here for St. Pat's.
Approaching the 1 minute mark here in the fourth quarter. It's Malu Malu. Working on Waller. And that's going to be a foul on Keefe. No argument coming after that one.
Full bear hug mode.
I guess he figured he already fouled him. He might as well make sure that he's not going to go up and get the and one.
It's a set play there. Coach Koslake called out. I think he called it special. Both of the bigs flashed high, kind of an ISO play. They were both pinning down to allow who was that at the line here? Malu Malu?
Malu Malu at the line, yep. Two big misses at the free throw line. Still a 5-point game. 50 seconds to go here in the fourth. Monroe with the ball. Both teams will be in the bonus for the remainder of this one. And a nice save there by Husbands. Gets it to Marshall Harris. Back to Husbands. 6 seconds to shoot. Waller. He'll take a pull-up jumper, and he connects. That's a big shot for Waller. St. Pat's going quickly in transition. And the three for Marina. Gets it to go. Big-time shot from Marina. Makes it a 4-point game. Coach McGarrigle got to call a timeout.
I was actually a little bit surprised after Waller's shot went in that St. Pat's didn't use a timeout to advance the ball, but they were able to get it ahead in transition, jump stop, get that reverse pivot three for Marina there. And every time he comes in, he seems to make an impact. He's hit a couple threes this game, doing a great job going to the offensive boards as well. He's doing a really good job today for St. Pat's.
And if you're Coach McGarrigle right now, what are you focusing on? You're going to come out with the ball. First of all, do you advance the ball into the front court?
He's got 2 timeouts. It depends on how confident he's feeling against their zone pressure right now, because they're probably going to do the same thing. I would say I would probably advance it right now.
Okay. Obviously, the benefit of not advancing it would be you get the extra 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, for sure. I think because I have an extra timeout, I probably would advance it right now. If I was, it's always a tough call. We have this debate in the office all the time about what you should do. You just don't want to do anything in the back. You don't want to make any errors in the backcourt so that they can get something easy. The other thing is, though, if you're playing in the front court and somebody's going away from the basket, that's an easy place for somebody to steal. So it looks like Grammer's going to take it in the full court right here.
Like some of the St. Pat's players confused. They didn't know how much time was left. They thought they had more time.
Yeah.
Larkin will have the baseline as well after the bucket.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if they stay in this zone pressure because they have to foul. That they're choosing not to foul here is
maybe looking for the foul after they get into the front court. That looked like he gave the foul there.
And again.
And they have to give a foul right now. Kind of looked like St. Val already gave the foul. No whistle from official Paul DeBailey. It's going to send Monroe to the line with 12.6 seconds to go. The shot clock will be turned off.
So 14 seconds ran off the clock there. So if you're Coach McGarrigle, you're very happy with how that went and that you didn't advance the ball. Able to take that much time off the clock here, leaving 12 and a half seconds. Looking to make it a 6-point lead here.
And Coach Matthew Kosley gonna use his first time out of the last 2 minutes.
You could tell he was obviously frustrated that there was a couple times that they were looking to give the foul there, and he didn't get the call that he was looking for. But I think there has to be a couple of things that have to happen there. I think the first thing is that you can have one of your players go and talk to the referee.
Tell the ref we're going to foul.
Tell the ref we're going to foul right now. Then as a coach as well,
you always do that as a coach as well.
Always do it as the coach. You say we're gonna foul here. just to kind of give them the heads up of what you're looking to do.
And that's player safety too, right? You don't want to have to make a hard foul to get a whistle. Let them know you're going to get a little bump, blow the whistle. We don't want to hurt anybody out here.
Exactly, and especially if there's something that happens just after the ball leaves, and that's what happened. Two-referee system right now. What happens is the referees oftentimes are focused on the ball. So if a player makes the pass and then you foul that player right after the ball leaves, sometimes they take their eye off of that and they don't see it. And that's what happened there a couple of times for St. Pat's.
Just about ready to get things back here. 12.6 seconds to go. 6-point lead for Grammar. St. Pat's really need to come back here after